Hey everybody, you are about to watch the Dr. Jamie Show. I hope you enjoy this episode. All right, hey everyone, welcome to the Dr. Jamie Show. Thank you for watching. We have about 2.5 minutes and we're going to go ahead and go live with Thomas King, CEO of Florida Firearms Academy. Today we are going to chat about all things firearms, answer all of your questions. How do you get a concealed weapons permit? What do you do if you have a gun in the home? Do you tell your children there's a gun in the home? He also has amazing courses at Florida Firearms, specifically for children and specifically for women. So I'm interested in hearing a little bit about how those programs work, what they do with children. So can a 6-year-old go, and what do you teach them? So we're going to find all that out and so much more. Literally, I don't even know if we're going to get to all these questions. We have a stack. I ran out of note cards. I had so many questions to ask him. I had to start using these. But never fear, your questions are even more important than these. So if you have any questions, go ahead and message them in on the chat, Facebook, and we've got Wes behind the scenes, and he'll go ahead and answer any of the questions that you have in this area, and we'll ask them live to Thomas here shortly. So we have about 2 minutes to go. Do me a favor, go to YouTube, go to iTunes, go to Google Play, subscribe to the Dr. Jamie channel, the Dr. Jamie Show. Every like, every follow really helps out the Dr. Jamie Show to grow and keep bringing back amazing guests like Thomas, who you're going to see today, CEO of Florida Firearms Academy. So just hold tight, about 1.5 minutes, and we will go ahead and go. All right. So, yeah, it's weird with VidChat today, Wes.
Mm-hmm. Not the first.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so good.
Yeah, we have everybody sign the wall.
Hey, Carolyn. Good morning.
I just started over there.
Yeah, you'll have to sign it on the other side.
Just started over there. Yeah.
All right, exactly 1 minute, guys.
Guests, friends, family, everybody. Yeah.
And soon, the CEO of Florida Firearms Academy. Phone is on silent. Is yours on silent, Wes?
Yeah, I am.
All right, guys. Why did you print that out? I should have printed it out. Right now? You ready? Okay. Hello and welcome to the Dr. Jamie Show. Thank you so much for joining us, VidChat, Facebook, and Twitter. Happy Friday. The Dr. Jamie Show is all about increasing happiness, success, and likability. And today we are going to open your mind and educate you a little bit on firearms. We have actually a lot on firearms. We have the CEO of Florida Firearms Academy, Thomas King, in my side vision right here, and we have a stack of questions to ask him. So please feel free, Facebook, to message in your questions. We have Wes in the background. He will read your questions live, and Thomas will ask them right here today. VidChat, you know the deal. You can go ahead and call in with your questions and we will ask them, and you can talk with Thomas actually in person and ask the question that you have. So great show ahead of us today. Let me give you a rundown of who is coming up over the course of the next month on the Dr. Jamie Show. A little bit of background on some stuff, and then we have to start the show right away because Thomas has so much knowledge and information to share with us. Okay, so next week on the show, we are having a segment on negotiating, going with your gut, and creating a kick-ass business. So we have a pain surgeon on the show, Colleen Maxey. We have Rachel Carpenter, the CEO of Intrino. We have Vera Anderson, owner of Global Elements Consulting. These women are high-profile women. They are affluent, they are successful, and they are going to chat with us and let us know a little bit about how they got to where they are today. and how we can learn from them. So I'm really looking forward to that segment. Just because it's all women doesn't mean it doesn't pertain to men. So listen up. These women know what they're talking about, and these are tips that anybody can use. Okay, and then on the 26th, we have parenting expert Sapna Shah on the show. Feel free to ask any questions you want about parenting. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly. We can ask Sapna. So please send in those questions, and I will make sure that we ask her those questions live. Then we're rolling into February already. So February 2nd is going to be a special Dr. Jamie show. We have Pasco County Corporal and lead of the Human Trafficking Division, Alan Bulkett, on the show. He is the 2017, let me get this right, Florida Human Trafficking Law Enforcement Officer of the Year from the Attorney General. He received that award. So major award. This man is super educated in this field. And he's going to tell us a little bit about what we can do to stop human trafficking. What is even human trafficking? We're going to learn about it as a whole. So really going to open up our education and our minds to that sector. And we're going to have returning guests on that show, Sarah McDougall. So she was on 2 weeks ago. She is a coach that helps you get over abusive relationships. So I would check her out and wait until you have to hear what she says on that show. A lot of good stuff on that show. It's going to be a very big show. And then on the 9th of February, we are going to have Topher Morrison on the show, and he is running for mayor here in Tampa. So we are going to learn a little bit about his plans, why he's choosing to do this, and feel free to ask your questions, and we will ask him live on the show. Then we have Dr. Colleen Maxey. She's going to be on the segment next week, but she's returning on the 16th, and we are going to do a segment solely on pain. She's the pain surgeon, so back pain, pain that goes down your leg. We're going to learn all about it and how to prevent it. She actually can help cure this pain without narcotics. So we're going to learn a little about narcotics and what they do to your body and how you can heal without them. So then on the 23rd, we have Colleen Stearns-Leith, and she's with Marketing Matters, and we are going to learn how to increase our social media followers. So we're going to learn a lot of marketing. And then that actually rolls us into March. I can't believe it. And I'm not going to give you the rundown for March, but I will tell you March 2nd, we have an ENT here, Dr. Mickey Fisher, and we are going to talk about all things allergies. Her and I just did an audio segment. If you go to my YouTube and you look, probably the one that was posted today actually, she is so knowledgeable in this area. It was awesome. My son suffers from allergies. He gets nosebleeds from them. What can he use over the counter? She tells us the best over the counter, and she also tells us what to steer clear of. So I think that's really important, especially if you have children with allergies. Okay, so a couple things. I wrote an article this week on how to be a thought leader. Check that out. You can go to my Facebook and see it. You can actually go to YouTube and listen to the audio version of being a thought leader. Just having integrity, the right way to gain followers, being consistent with your content. Those are the types of things that make you a thought leader. Wes and I were talking yesterday. We went and toured. We did a hard hat tour of One St. Pete. It's a new building going in downtown St. Pete. And we were talking to someone and somehow got on the topic of the Dr. Jamie brand and how has it been successful. And I truly contribute one primary factor to my success, other than the support of you all. Thank you so much. But it's being consistent, right? How do I get your support? It's through being consistent, through having these shows every Friday, posting on Facebook, posting on YouTube, and doing it all the time. It's not just when I feel like it. There's days, and I told you this last week, there are days when I don't want to do the show. There are days when I don't want to post, but I have to. You hold me accountable to that, and that helps me continue to be consistent, and that's part of a characteristic of a thought leader. So if you're looking to sort of crack into being a thought leader, writing more, having people come to you as a trusted resource, you want to sort of make sure that you are consistent in everything you do, even on the days you don't want to. All right, so the big news I wanted to share with you today, I'm still waiting on it, so maybe 80% sure, I don't know at this point, so I just will tell you as soon as I know. Make sure that you are on Facebook at Dr. Jamie Workshops and Coaching, and you've liked the page, and as soon as I get the big news, if I get the big news, I will post it right there for you as soon as I hear. Headspace. So if you heard of Headspace, it's a great meditation app. And this morning, one of my articles was posted on Headspace. So go ahead and check it out. It's essentially how to not feel guilty when doing things for you. So maybe you just want to go on the dock outside. We have a dock outside and read a book. But then you're thinking, I could be doing so much more. I could be doing, I don't know, maybe that's, okay. Just sort of finding, so you're sitting on the dock, I'm sorry, that threw me off there, and you're reading a book, and what else could I do for work? What projects could I create? It's okay to have downtime. So just recognizing that you don't need to be guilty when you're doing stuff for yourself. And then another audio I did that I thought you would like was with Jen Catalinato. She was on the live show before talking about flipping homes. She just did a segment with us about top tips when you're buying your first rental property. What do you need to know? So if you go to my YouTube and check that out, you'll see that video. And the last thing before we bring out Thomas, ThriveWorks. One of my articles was posted on ThriveWorks that many of you might be interested in. And it's how to have a better day every day. So not just, okay, I'm going to pump myself up on Monday, or, oh, it's Friday, I'm going to have a great day, it's Saturday, it's the weekend. How can you have a great day on Wednesday? How can you have a great day on Tuesday? So we chat a little bit about that in that article. Okay, I know what you're waiting for. You have so many questions. You want to hear from Thomas King, CEO of Florida Firearms Academy. Thomas, come on down. Give me a hug. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Hey,
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Take
Happy
a
New
seat.
Year's.
Happy New Year. We are here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's 2018. That's crazy. Okay, I guess the first thing that I have the viewers learn about you before we go into the content is something unique, bizarre, or interesting about you that nobody or very, very few people know. What can you share with us?
I would say, well, there's so many weird things about me.
You should have waited till I was finished drinking.
I do dip my French fries in my chocolate frosties. So
Do you?
It's kind of weird.
You know, that it's weird, but I think a lot of us do that.
Really?
I think
Oh,
it's
okay.
good with a frosty.
I always have people say, "Ooh, that's disgusting."
Is it really?
I don't know.
I
I think
know.
it's not, but
Not my 7-year-old doesn't think that.
I love also to travel to like third world countries and help out and see how they live, how they eat, how they love life. Even if they have nothing, they're so happy still. And every time I come back to America, I like to find that it really shows me how much I appreciate this country and how easy we really have it here. So we really do have it easy.
Well,
I would suggest that for everyone.
And before the show, we talked about how when Hurricane Irma came through here and people went like 7 days without electricity, some of us for like 4.5 minutes, and we thought we were going to die. Because like ours like blinked and the cable went out and it came back on and we're like, oh, thank God.
No Wi-Fi.
No.
What do you mean no Wi-Fi?
crazy.
Come on, Irma, work with us here.
Imagine if you don't have a toilet or running water ever and you live in a shack, but these people are still so happy and they're loving life, and it just gives you a more appreciation of life itself.
Yeah, and sometimes living a little bit more simply does make you happier. I know, it's
It
like,
does.
you know, and one of the things off a tangent here, so I've talked with the viewers about, there's a great book by Dave Ramsey called The Total Money Makeover, and it's about paying off your debt instead of buying the next thing and the next
Right.
thing and then just working to pay your bills.
Right.
Like, how awesome would it be to just not necessarily live completely simply with no toilet, but not have any debt?
Right.
What if you didn't have any car
If you were
payments?
free.
Free.
And free is a lot that many people fight for. So
Yeah.
it's just for our country, but we get so involved with green paper, money in the bank account, that we get so involved with becoming our own slaves, and
Yes.
it's hard for you and your family. So spend what you can, or save what you must.
Yes, I love that. So, favorite country you've ever been to?
Favorite country, I would have to say I really loved. There's so many cool countries. It's so hard to say that because there's so many different things you like about this country than that country, but I think I would have to say Paris was beautiful, but London, the people there were very nice to you.
Yep.
I mean, I really respect you, and you really saw how they lived and how they, controlled they were and how proper they were. It was really neat. But then you go to another, like you go to Cuba or Colombia, and they love you because you're an American, and they hear so much about it, and they want to come here, and they're excited to talk to you, and so that's a whole nother happiness for you.
So a little bit of every
There's
country
so many-
has a little something.
I mean, my favorite country is the United States of America, and that's why I live here. But
Yeah.
you know, going to visit these places is always beautiful too. So.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, very good. Okay, so I want viewers to know a little bit about who they're getting their information from. So this isn't just yet about Florida Firearms Academy. Do you have pets? Are you married? Do you have kids? Tell us who you are.
So, I have a dog named Monkey. He's a mini Pomeranian. And this dog, I don't know if I got lucky or not, but he doesn't bark. I can open my door and just say, go to the bathroom, and I can close the door, and he'll just be sitting there waiting the whole time. And he's just like the nicest dog. And I have a cat named Simba. He's like just as fluffy, and there's hair constantly everywhere. And the house cleaner is like so mad at me, like, oh, shut up, remember. But my son is Grant. He's now he's at Northeastern in Boston, freezing his little buddy off.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen the pictures of Boston, but the water going through, freezing the cars and stuff like that in the street. Actually, it lifted some of the cars up, the water that went through there, so the cars were frozen, suspended out there. And so yeah, it's crazy.
Well, if it's this cold here, I mean, it's not bad today or yesterday, but it was cold last week here.
It was cold.
And then we're due for another cold front. I think it's supposed to be what, like 32 is the low on Wednesday.
It's funny when we say cold is 32 watt, but when you're over there 30 below,
right?
You know, whole nother world.
It is. It is. And I'm from Chicago. So
okay.
you know,
We
it's
can
like negative 11 feels like negative 642 with the wind chill. Yeah.
Your feet will stick to the floor.
Yeah. And you learn, like, don't put your tongue on that, like, metal
Yeah.
pole, because it ain't coming off.
Do you remember putting on 10 layers and
10.
then walking 10 feet and then taking it all off
Yes.
when you got inside?
Starting your
You had
car,
to.
like, 20 minutes
Yeah.
early to defrost, scraping the windshield.
That's not for me.
That's not for me.
Is that why you came here?
It is like, and a lot of sun. There's a lot of sun here. So,
And there's beautiful beaches.
okay, so you have a son, and you have
Son,
Monkey and the cat with
I
hairballs
have
all
my
over.
family's here. My grandfather is the founder of King's Castle in Whitman, Massachusetts. He came down here. They were the founders of Island State Realty. They bought up a lot of property. All his kids there, his 4 kids work there at both places. And my aunt is still the owner of Island State Realty. Her name's Joanna King. You can look her up if you need any waterfront property. And then I went a different route. I went into the business side, finances, and I managed a bond trading floor. I took 13 years off to raise my kid because I wanted to spend as much time as I could with
I
him.
love that.
You know what? If you have some time, because you know we don't get to spend enough time with our kids. You really get to know your kids if you're constantly with them, raising them. And my son, every day I take him to school, I say, hey, get in a little bit of trouble today. Not once did this kid ever get in trouble. Like, seriously, just get in some trouble. Do
Go
something.
fight someone. Do something.
Yeah, do something, bro. He's got his head on straight, and he actually teaches me. You know what? Kids today, you give them your cell phone, you have it all hooked up. I don't know. Every time I get a cell phone, I got to call him or go visit him and say, hey, can you hook up my cell phone, hook up my computer. They're so smart today with the technology, but he's just smart in general, so I'm really blessed and pleased to have him in my life. And then Kathleen, she's one of the partners at Shoemaker, Loop and Kendrick. We've been together for quite some time now, and she would probably give you the exact day how long we've been together.
Yep.
But
That's how we
very
do.
smart, very cool, very low key, and she's the rock of me, so she keeps me on my head straight.
Aw, I love that. We might have to interview her, have her on the show, and get
Yes.
the dirt. That's what I should do. I should
Dirt,
have all
yeah.
the wives and fiancés of all the male
Wow.
guests on the show, and we'll call it the dirt.
Yeah.
She'll
And
tell
we're-
me that he snores. That's probably about it. You know, I do these little things, and I think it's very important for everyone to do. Like, if I'm getting gas, I'll stop at the gas station and get a Snickers bar and bring it home and take it out, put it on a wrapper, and put a candle on it. Or something. Just some little things. Like, here you go, honey, because you know, just the little things that make that huge difference. And it doesn't matter for what you do. It's actually how I really got to where I am today. It's the little things that I did that really get you to that big moment in life. So.
I love that. That's a great tip.
Yep.
And Wes, I think you're really good with that.
Woo.
So, yeah.
The little things. Always got to remember. It doesn't matter if it's a special day. Just send the flowers. Do the thing. Give a little back rub. Just say, hey, how was your day? It was easy as that to make love and happiness that much easier.
It is. It's so true. And it doesn't even have to be anything expensive or monetary.
No,
you could just
maybe.
say or do something that they told you, oh, I like this, or oh, this happened, and you just bring it up or say something. It means a lot. So I
You
love
draw
that.
little notes. I draw little notes instead of leaving on the pillow or on the mirror. Just these little
I have
things.
to tell
that-
you a funny story about writing notes. So years ago, God, I think we were married. We might have had Wesley. So I wrote Wes a note, but I was always writing him notes and sticking them in his lunch and stuff like that. So I was like, I need to get like more creative. So I make his lunch and I take a note that says like, I love you or whatever. And I put it inside his sandwich. And then he came home and I asked him, did you get my note? He's like, what note?
Oh no.
He ate my note.
Oh no. It tasted a little dry.
He said that. He's like, I knew it tasted
That is
weird.
so funny. Then we had to rush him to the emergency room for lead poison. Lead poison.
Oh, his number 2 was a little weird for
Lesson
me.
learned. Though.
I know, lesson learned. So ladies, don't try to be cute and stick your love note in your man's sandwich.
That's like the engagement ring and the champagne that she drinks.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay, so I guess now your story. So how did life lead you to becoming the CEO of Florida Firearms Academy?
That's a good one. And you know what? Everyone, as kids, we all have dreams. And I had a dream. And my dream was I wanted to be a race car driver. And I actually did that for a long time, race cars, race motorcycles. And you know what? It's expensive. The one thing we teach our kids, and this is guilty for all of us, we say, hey, you know what? You can do it or be whatever you want. And it's true, you can. But we don't go that step further to say, but you may not get paid for it.
Right.
You may not get that job like the NFL.
Bam, good point.
Every kid wants to be an NFL star, that works for it, that plays football, but you know what, there's only so many jobs, and there's like such a 0% of how many people are actually going to get that job. Now, you could be the best, but maybe they didn't get you in there or see you, or maybe you actually had an accident that day that you dropped the ball or whatever it was. So, maybe you are the best, and maybe you could have that job, but you didn't get it because of some silly
Outside
thing
factor,
happened.
yeah, right.
There's only so many spots for everything. So I realized that I didn't get my job. I was getting some sponsors and everything. They're paying me enough to put some stickers on the car and maybe some tires. But, when you have to travel and go to another state or something to race or things like that, it adds up. And if you blow a motor each week, that's $5,000 or whatever. And
Adds
you've got to
up.
have a crew there to help you out. And if you can't afford to do all that, you need to pack up your bags and move on. So I did that for a little bit. I didn't make the money that I needed to get that career. I didn't have that opportunity and goal in that spot to get that in there where someone say, hey, we're going to just give you a lot of money to race. That would have been cool. But my second goal dream was to get in the firearms industry. Because my father taught me how to shoot when I was 5 years old. And I still remember where we were, the day we did it, how he showed me. It was one of the coolest things, and I thought my dad was one of the coolest people ever to show me this. So I've been shooting firearms ever since, and I loved it.
Wow.
So there's always that saying, find what you love to do or dream, and just figure out a way to have someone pay you to do it. So if you could do that, you're living the dream.
Yeah, and we feel like that sometimes too. I think it is important to find what it is you love and go for it. But I think you have to be rational about it too, because
you know what, if you get let down so much, and that's how depression sets in.
Yeah.
Like I told my kid, you follow whatever you want to follow. Whatever dream it is you want to follow, I'm going to be there 100%, and I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're the garbage man or whatever it is, I'm going to be there for you. But I want you to be happy, because if you look how many people have a job that and people that go to every day, and they hate it.
And they might make a ton of money.
And they may make, and you know what? That's not going to buy you happiness.
No.
Just like the freedom part.
Yeah.
Being free is free, and happiness is free. So if you want it to be.
I love that. That's excellent. Okay, all right, very good. So it led you to Florida Firearms Academy, and that was what year did you start there?
That was the previous year, and I've been looking around, and I had some investors that wanted to do things with me, but my partner Steven, we got together and we sat down, and I loved the design of this. Now, this was a design that's something that no one else had, so we took it a step further, and we made it to something of an academy where we're not the military scream at you. We're the place where you go to have fun, learn. It's an Olympic sport. I understand people are terrified of it. And this is, if you are terrified, we're going to teach you how to not be terrified.
Yeah.
We're going to teach, if you're a professional shooter, we're going to have classes for you. This is something for everyone, and you're going to enjoy it.
Okay, excellent. And we're going to talk a little bit about those classes that you offer a little bit later on. Okay, all right. So what is FFA? What is Florida Firearms Academy?
It's the academy where, you know what, all our members is so amazing, and we're so fortunate and happy that our members are like our family. I mean, if something happens in the range, people will call, go, hey, I'll come down, I have parts, I could fix that, or I'll help weld it, or I'll help, I'll help paint, let me help paint your stuff. I'm like, this is amazing. They're because we try to give to them, and they give way back to us. And we try to do charities and events and things like that, money raisers, fundraisers, even for our members if they had a problem, a situation, we try to help them out. But they also give it right back to us.
So people can they purchase firearms from you?
They can purchase firearms. We make firearms. We customize firearms. We train you how to use firearms. We teach your kids and things like that. I mean,
and is there, and just so I want them to be clear too, is there like a shooting range there, or is it more you just purchase them? No.
100% shooting range. We have one on each side, and we do private parties and things like that, private events, instructional events. So they can shoot there, and you can go on the range and shoot. You can have all kinds of cool events there, so it's pretty fun.
Excellent, very good. And I was going to ask him something about it. What was I going to ask him? Oh, the 3D printing. So this is a good point. Okay, so just for a second, we were talking before the show, and he said that you do 3D printing there?
Well, one of the general managers has a 3D printer. Okay. He's printing out cool little things like that right now. But what we're looking at is getting into the big 3D printing, where you could actually print a chair if you wanted to, something cool, But there's so many things you can make, for this industry and other industry that just helps you along. You can 3D print parts for the range, to keep up, and that's
super cutting edge. That's what that
is. It's going to change the world, and especially everyone will have a 3D printer. You're going to actually not have the need to import, export things, because you can just print it right there in your house. You just buy the software, and you say, I want this China pattern set. Boom. I want to print a suit. You can print a suit that exactly fits you. So these are the kind of things that, you got to get in. You always got to stay that one step ahead. So 3D printing is really cool and easy.
Wow, that is so amazing, isn't it? Okay, I know you can't tell us exactly all about law. You're not an attorney, but just in general, what is the Florida law regarding firearms? Can you just give us like a little understanding of it?
Sure. Florida is the gunshine state.
Okay.
So, you can legally own a concealed weapon permit, a license to carry a firearm here, if you're not a felon. And if you're a felon, that responsibility has been taken away from you in that right. But you have the right to protect yourself and your family, or the right to do competition shooting, or the right to go hunting. There's so many weird things in the laws that have so many flaws, and they could make it so easy and just write it to where everyone can actually understand it and read it, but they don't. And so that's why you have to take a real course, and like what we offer, to where you're not going to be confused and mixed up about the laws. There's many places out there that will have these classes, but they're going to give you a 10-minute crash course. Here's your thing. Thank you very much. You need hours to sit there and really focus on what you can and cannot do, or it'll get you in trouble.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. So one mistake, and you genuinely are being responsible, could end you in jail.
Yeah, absolutely, or worse. I mean, there's so many things with concealed weapon permits and laws, and can you not go to the range. There's always been this thing about, as long as you have your gun in the 3-step rule. I've heard that so many times in your car, you're going to be safe. There's never been a law. It's just a hoax made up thing. 3-step rule. It's not real. There's real ways you can carry your firearms, and if you do own a firearm, I would highly suggest you taking the concealed weapon course. You don't have to take it from me. There's other places out there, but I would highly suggest it. That way, it'll protect you while you're transporting your firearm somewhere.
Okay. Are there any, and again, if you can't answer this, I understand, but are there any states that you know of that are like super way too lax on their rules, or states where you just absolutely cannot have a concealed weapon that you know of?
The laws do change all the time, so if someone watched this a year from now, it could be misleading. But I would say, Florida, they're always changing this law. They're trying to make it where if you have a concealed weapon, you should be able to take it through all 50 states. Well, there's other states out there that really don't want you to have a firearm.
Okay.
And these are the states where there's actually the most shootings and deaths. So, and you're from Chicago, so, they have
I'm
very
a felon,
strict
that's right. Yep.
They have very strict laws over there, but you see there's been so many shootings. There's so many laws, but if they just enforce them, they probably wouldn't have that problem.
Okay, and we're going to learn a little bit about that here. So, what makes it lawful for you to use a firearm to defend yourself?
Well, lawful is a word I wouldn't use. I would use the word, it is my God-given right to defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If someone broke in your house right now and your kids are sitting right here and they had a bat and they said, I'm going to bash your kids' heads in and steal everything you have, what are you going to do?
Right.
What would you do?
Right.
Sit there and go, oh, all right,
Well, if
is
this
the
happened
end,
right
guys.
now, I've got him, so we would just blow the guy off.
Well, it is my God-given right, and I do believe in God, and I do believe He said, yeah, go ahead, you can protect yourself. Turning the other cheek, yeah, you can turn the other cheek, absolutely. Pull a gun on me, hey, pull a gun right back then.
Yeah.
But if it's protecting my family, I will put my life in line,
Mm-hmm.
I will give my last breath, and law or not law, I don't care, I'm going to protect my family.
Okay.
But yes, you can have, in this state of Florida, you can have a firearm in your home, and you can protect your family. If you're terrified of firearms, I completely get it. The media has put a spin on firearms that they're this evil thing and whatever, but yet this lady just won 8 gold medals shooting a firearm. It's an Olympic sport. So realize this, it's a piece of an object. You're saying just like a car kills more people, but it is your right in Florida to protect yourself. Is there a stand your ground law? Absolutely. You know what? It's a little more lenient here, but they do need to define things to where you can't just pull out guns because you're mad in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get in trouble for doing things like that. If you have anger management problems, you shouldn't get a firearm or a concealed weapon permit until you get that taken care of.
I think that's a great point. I think that's really important. You really need to know yourself. Because if you do have anger issues, you could be totally normal and fine right now. Oh, I would never do it. But in the heat of the moment, and I'm sure that's where, obviously that's where so many shootings happen. That's probably where they happen, is it's that moment, that one moment of sheer anger that you just can't come down
You're
from.
going to make a mistake,
yes.
and it's going to cost you everything.
Everything.
And you're going to regret it for the rest of your life, saying, I'm such a dummy, that all they did was cut off in front of me. Every time someone cuts me off the road or whatever, cuts in front of me, I always just say this, maybe he's on his way to go take his son to the emergency room. Maybe he got a call. I'm not going to get mad about the little things because there's so many awesome things in the world that I want to stay happy about. I'm not going to let these little things get mad at me. So I know, personally, myself, I could carry a firearm and not pull it out because someone calls me a name or throws something at me. If my life is in jeopardy, that would be the only time that I would pull out my firearm or my family.
Okay, excellent. If your life is in jeopardy, and your life is not in jeopardy when someone cuts you off in rush hour traffic. And I actually do a similar thing to you, because when people cut me off, it was frustrating. But now I sort of say in my head, and this sometimes I say maybe he's in a rush, right, Wes? I'm like, maybe he's having a bad day or whatever.
Maybe his wife's pregnant.
Maybe his wife. Yeah, it could be anything. It could be they just found out terrible news and they're rushing home. Or also sometimes I do say this. You know what? I bet he lives a miserable life. So, and I just let it go. Like, you know what? You live your life mad at everyone. Go on.
The funny part is you see them weaving in and out.
Yeah, and you do.
And then they're right at the light next to you.
Yeah, you're just like, we got
funny.
equally far. That happens like
Right.
90% of the time.
And you're like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
But they always say, like, revenge is best just live well.
Yeah.
Just live well, and that's the best revenge of all.
Another guest we had here the other day said, what someone does to you is their karma. The way that you react is your karma. So I've been trying to keep that in mind a lot and
Absolutely.
sharing
It's
that.
your life. Don't let someone take control of it.
Especially someone you don't know that cuts you off in traffic.
Absolutely.
Like,
You don't know
well,
who he is.
you're going to let him ruin your whole day?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. All right. So for people who want to get their concealed weapons license in Florida, what are the steps? And I'm sure other states you could tune in and just, this is probably a somewhat of a similar process.
Well,
for us.
most states that offer your concealed weapon permit,
Okay.
some states you don't even need a permit. But in this state of Florida, what you would need to do is look up a place where they do train for this.
Like Florida Firearms Academy?
Right, like Florida Firearms Academy. Now, make sure it's a reputable place. If you're going to meet someone in a parking lot, I wouldn't really do that. But they do that.
Oh my.
And it's actually, people have gone to jail for doing that. So they'll just say, hey, meet me up, here's your certificate, take it to the agriculture building. You really want to know and learn about this stuff. If you paid $50 to get it, like we charge $50. If you pay $50, we're going to give you your money's worth. You're going to understand what it is to have a concealed weapon permit. You're going to understand what the laws are for a concealed weapon permit. And you're going to actually have to go in there and qualify and shoot at our range. So you do it all in one spot. A lot of places you go to some places they have these trailer parks that you go into, and you go into this trailer and you shoot in there, and then you go to another facility where they have a classroom. Now, shooting in a little trailer park, that means you're not really shooting. You're shooting into a bend that's right in front of you. That's all you really have to do to qualify, but we take it a step further. We want to actually make sure that you really can shoot a firearm. We don't want to just go, here you go. That's not how we run things. We want to, if we sell you a firearm, like most other stores, they go, yeah, it's the best gun, buy this gun, thanks a lot, give me the money, peace out. Girl Scout, and then what we do is, we want to know what it's for. We want to get you in this firearm. We want to show you how to load it. We want to show you how to hold it. We want to show you how to aim it, and we want to show you how to shoot it. And that's very important. So when you come in, you could call us or any gun range out there that's reputable, and make sure that you get a good price on it. You're going to take the class. You're going to shoot the firearm. Then you're going to receive a certificate if you pass. So you do have to pay attention. You do have to understand, and you have to shoot a firearm. This certificate you have to bring to a tax ID or agriculture building, and that's where you have to turn it in to get your concealed weapon permit. You're going to pay them a check. I think it's $95 or something like that now, and they will mail you your concealed weapon permit. It may take a week, it may take 3 weeks. The government's sometimes slower than most people, but and then if you have to, you'll get your concealed weapon permit. And you'll know what you can and can't do, and that's important because you can't just keep a gun open on you. That's called open carry, and you're going to know that, hey, you know what? I'm going to jail for this. So you'll know.
Yeah, and if you got your education in a trailer off Craigslist in a parking lot, you probably don't know those types of things, and you're innocent. You're being responsible. You didn't mean to do anything wrong, and there you are.
You will be surprised how many people we have come in saying, I have my concealed weapon permit license, but I want to take your class because I don't know. No one told me this stuff.
Okay.
Well, we're like, well, absolutely. Know the laws, or check with your attorney, or you can see some of the laws online. But make sure, you're not an attorney. Some of these things or words are like this big that I don't even know what they mean. So have someone interpret it for you. When you pay your $50, you get your money's worth. You get to shoot the firearm. You get to understand what it is to have a concealed weapon permit. So.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so once you get your license, so you went to the agriculture, they sent you what you need. Are you done at that point, or do you need to be recertified? Have training or an update of your background information after so many years.
Right.
Is there anything after that?
What happens after that is completely up to you.
Okay.
So if you get your certificate and you get your license, after I think it's 7 years, you have to renew. You have to go back to the ag building. You have to pay them. I think it's $55 renewal fee. I believe they don't accept cash, so don't bring cash with you. It's weird. You're in America, they don't accept cash. But
we accept cash.
We take cash.
Just letting you know anything. We accept MasterCard.
Cha-ching.
Bitcoin.
Well, I said Bitcoin.
Just throw a few of those over here. I actually posted something up about 3D printing Bitcoins. You melt down the brass for the shells and you print your own Bitcoin. Is that pretty neat?
I love that.
Pretty neat.
Yep, you can go there for.
But it is completely up to you. If you don't want to renew your license, you don't have to do it.
Okay. But like, let's say I got my concealed weapons license today, and in 6 months I committed a felony. You said felons can't have.
Right.
Okay. I already have it.
Have it, schmab it.
Okay.
You have a house, the bank can take it away.
I love
you
it.
have a car.
Girl Scout.
Your car could be repossessed. You know what?
Okay.
There's a lot of people in this country that don't realize how close they are to living on the streets, including myself. We could all be. If you do one thing wrong in this world, you could be out of everything. Okay. You have to follow the guidelines. You have to follow the proper procedures. So if you became a felon, you're going to jail first off, right?
Yep.
They're going to seize your firearm from you, or if you have one and and they don't take it, the ATF, I guarantee you, is going to be knocking on your door saying, "Hi, great, glad to meet you," and it's not going to go well for you, because then you're going to have another account against you.
So they do get their weapon taken from them.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
You will not have, if you're a felon, you will not have the right to own a firearm. You lose a lot of rights. I mean, you won't be able to vote anymore. So don't be a felon. You know, I didn't even know this, but I just looked it up a little bit ago, and the grand theft is like $200 or $300. It is basically nothing. So if you're a kid and you steal an Xbox, that's grand theft. So that you lose rights. So kids don't realize stealing a little thing could get you in a lot of trouble. Like a misdemeanor is a little slap on the wrist, but when you do grand theft or things like that, just from stealing a laptop, you can get your butt in a lot of trouble and lose a lot of rights. So
for a long time.
Make sure you stay in the gun list for a long time. And you know what? They're trying to make it a little more lenient about this, but if you were a felon and you wanted to buy a firearm, it's been 10 years or whatever, you've been a straight A student through life and in your community, you've turned around, you can actually go back to the judge and say, look, this is what I've done, I've completely changed, can I reinstore some of my rights back? And then it's up to the judge, but
not in all cases.
Not in all cases. If they say, hey, what kind of felony was it? I stole an Xbox, or I did, we'll probably overlook this, but just stay out of the trouble.
I like how he said, don't be a felon. So in the last question that I'm going to ask you of the day is, if you could leave the viewers with one piece of advice, what would it be? And it's going to be, don't be a felon.
Don't be a felon.
Don't be a felon. Okay, so there are strong opinions on this topic of firearms. And being able to carry a weapon. I'm sure you're on the side of being able to have a concealed weapon, that's obvious. What are some of the benefits of having the ability to carry a weapon?
The benefits to carry a weapon? Some people would feel empowered by it. I don't know. I think that the main thing that you feel the benefit you is if there's an active shooter in the building, or you're in a mall and someone's doing a felon, or someone's just actively shooting people, going out of their cuckoos, I'm going to be able to protect my family. I'm not going to do oh my God, I need to go run and hide. Because running and hiding, we've seen how that goes in videos that police have released, and they just come over and go, hey, boom, boom, in a classroom. You're a sitting duck. Either you're going to be a hero because you stopped this guy and you saved your family, or if you don't have the proper training, you just bought a firearm and you got your concealed weapon permit and you don't know what you're doing. There's so much to know and responsible. Every round that leaves your firearm, you're held accountable for it. So if I'm missing this guy and I'm hitting kids back here or something, I'm now not a hero, I'm a murderer. So I need to know exactly the angles of this guy, how to stop this guy. That's why police train, that's why military trains. You need proper training if you have a firearm, 100% guaranteed. If you don't, if you think you know how to do it, you're going to do it wrong. It's like saying, yeah, I could drive a car if I've never driven and gotten in it because I've seen someone do it. You're going to wreck and kill someone or kill yourself. That's not a good thing. So I would highly suggest taking some kind of firearm training somewhere to make sure you're held accountable is going to be 100% for you to be a hero instead of a zero.
Yeah, I love his rhymes. They're great. But I love that you are responsible for every bullet that leaves your gun, essentially.
Absolutely.
And so, you could be trying to do the right thing and suddenly your whole life has changed for the worse. So it is so important to get that training.
Very important. And you know what? Even in a home protection scenario, if a bad guy comes in right here, you need to know what kind of ammo you need to use. Does it go through the wall? Does it go through the next wall? Is it going to hit my neighbor? So firearms and home protection, is it going to go through and hit my son's room? You don't want all that to happen. That's why you plan for training, what kind of weapon you need to use for home defense. There's so many different types of weapons. If someone just says, here's a great one for home defense, it may be the worst one for home defense. You don't know, but we have a great staff that'll train you on this. We have shotgun classes. We have a whole armory that'll show you exactly what you would need for this kind of situation.
Okay, excellent. I love that there's different types. I think we might talk about that. Are there guns that regular civilians can't have?
regular civilians, you mean just like any
Like
kind of
any
civilian?
kind of, so not, I guess military, I guess would be the, you know, I'm sure there's certain law
Right.
enforcement and military that can have
Right.
guns maybe that we can't have. So are there specific guns that we can't have that you know about?
Well, if you have enough money, you can basically buy just about anything. But you're going to have to go through the proper channels,
Okay.
and you're going to have to pay the proper money to the government, tax stamps, ATF paperwork. You're going to fill it out, and you're going to probably wait at least a year. So if you're looking, they're going to want to know, why do this guy need a full automatic? You know,
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
why does
like,
he need some
right.
kind of a mass destruction gun? But our Constitution states that, yes, Second Amendment, we could have certain types of guns. And we do. I have full automatics at the store. You can rent them and try them out. A lot of people use it as a bucket list to see what the military actually uses. And when we do like bachelor parties or team building company, we ended off with a full automatic and everyone gets to shoot it and they're like, you see the look on their they're like, oh my God, this is so amazing!
Yeah.
And they're like, how much are bullets? I'm like, it's like $12. I'm like, for a whole box. I'm like, go get a whole bunch more so we can keep trying it. So
Yeah.
it's just a bucket list that you never get to experience because most people don't own these kind of firearms.
Okay.
So we do, and that's why we rent them. So
Okay, excellent. Okay, so I guess this leads into mass shootings. Is there any way at all to minimize mass shootings?
there is definitely ways to minimize mass shootings.
What do you think are the ways?
Just stop being mean to people.
Mhm.
Stop. Just love people. Quit putting people down. Quit bullying people. This sets along into this psychological thing. No one loves me. Everybody hates me. Now, there's always going to be evil people out there. Like, look at these serial killers. Did they have a modem? Not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Motive. They just wanted to kill people or eat people or whatever it was. Not everyone has some kind of motive. And if you look at all these mass shootings, they've all been on some kind of prescription drug.
Yeah.
So maybe we start there. Maybe we look at, are these pills actually making it better or worse? Do they, I'm sure they have, but you know what? There's millions of people on these drugs. Do they really need to be on these drugs,
Well, and I think the bullying is huge. Actually, just I'm a professor, so I teach at a university, and today I did a video response back to a student, and we had talked about cyberbullying. And I think bullying has
That's
just
huge.
got crazy out of control with how many outlets and social media. There's this example I always share in my classroom, and it pisses me off so bad. So there was this like 70-year-old woman in a locker room, and this was like an ESPN thing, I think. And she was changing, and there was like this super beautiful model in the locker room as well changing. And she snapped a photo of the elderly woman changing after the gym and said, if I have to see this, so do you. And she slammed that photo of the 70-year-old woman who's just trying to exercise and do right at her age. I mean, I literally get choked up because it's so frustrating to me that this woman who was like, she was like some type of Playboy model or something, instead of using her power to do good, she used it to hurt this 70-year-old woman. Like, you
What
don't
did
know.
that get her?
What did that get her? It got her a lot of negative
I bet
attention.
it
as
did.
a child. But it's so frustrating, all this cyberbullying. Like, just cut that out. And if you're a parent, really making sure, and I know it's a full-time job, to hone in on what your kid is doing online. I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
So,
That's a big one. And you know what? Another thing is I could talk to the President of the United States and I could talk to a homeless man, and I will give them both the same amount of respect that I would give them
yeah.
until they did something wrong to me. But you know what? I am not better than anyone out there. I am not below anyone out there. I am just trying to make a difference. And if you live a life like that, you're going to try to do better and better and better and make more people more happy. So, like, if you do just a charity event, which, you know what, I actually love doing charity events because I did something. And you know what, no matter if it was for a little bit of money or a lot of money, I did something and I made a difference. And that made me feel good. That came back to me tenfold right there. If you just keep trying to do more good and positive,
Yeah.
and you treat people with respect instead of, well, that guy's ugly or this person, you're no better than them. You're worse than them. So be happy.
That's a great point.
Treat people with respect.
Don't be a felon or a bully.
Or a bully.
Okay,
That's right.
got it? Okay, all right. So one of the things I would worry about, and this is me talking here, so ladies, I don't know if any of you feel this way. A man's coming at me, big, 200 and something pound man, and I'm this little girl with this gun, isn't he just gonna be like, "You're so cute," and just take it and shoot me with it? That's my biggest fear. So, I mean, is that gonna happen? What?
Well, that you would believe with firearm training.
Mm-hmm.
We started out this way, so I'm gonna just go into the terrifying part a little bit, because I have so many people that are coming in and they are crying. They're like, "I will not," and you know, we're gonna take you in a personal class, and I guarantee you, by the end of the day, you're gonna be laughing, going, "That's amazing. That's fun. That's a great sport. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt my ears." The main reason why people don't shoot, like a girl that had a traumatic problem, you know, with firearms, or they saw something on TV that scared them, or their boyfriend said, "Here, try this big 44 Magnum," and they shot it, and it hurt their hand, and it was so loud, and you know what? I wouldn't like it either. That's like saying, "Hey, you know what? We're going to teach you how to drive today. Get in this demolition derby and just smash into people." You would not want to drive anymore. People that are terrified, if your first time driving, you were scared. I was nervous. Were you nervous your first time getting in a car, going on the road?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't just hand you keys, go, "Hey, go out there on US 19 and drive." And
I still don't go on US 19 and drive.
guys, you're going to hurt someone if you don't know. If you don't have the proper training, the proper know-how to use the vehicle. Now when you get in a car, do you think, "Oh, I have to go 40 miles per hour, I have to push the gas pedal this hard to go 40?
Right.
No, it's all natural. You get in, you do it, you lie, put your seat, your blinkers on, you don't even think, "Oh, the turn's going on, I got to put my blinker on."
Yep.
You just naturally do it. That's how we get you to feel about firearms. It all becomes safe and natural. You don't think, "Oh, the recoil's coming when I pull the..." It's going to be natural. It's going to be easy. I got to reload. You're not even think about it. You're going to reload. You're going to put it in there. You're going to do it exactly right. Once you feel natural, and that is our goal to get you there, it is a fun, amazing sport, and you'll love it.
Excellent. So being trained, that's the key that I'm catching, obviously, with all of this. I'm sure you are too. It is the amount of education and training that you have behind this responsibility.
You'd be amazed. I have people that come in our range, they'll say, "I've been shooting for 25 years. I shot in the military." I'm like, "Oh, that's great," you know. And then I go out there and I see them holding the gun totally the wrong way, or where they're going to get hurt. And I'm like, "Whoa," you know. They were taught the wrong way, or it was an old style teaching, and firearms changed. You know, they went from black powder, and now they're crazy different types of styles of guns out there that you can purchase. So you got to know different guns you have to hold differently. So a revolver you would definitely hold differently from a semi-automatic. If not, you're going to get hurt. You will get hurt. So get the proper training, and that way, once you have the training, you're going to feel more safe, more happy, and you're going to love and enjoy the sport. Where if you did it the wrong way, you're like, "I hate this. Guns are evil. I hate guns. They hurt me."
So it's understanding. It's opening your mind to it, and it's getting the right training. Okay, so now let's switch over to parents for a second. So parents that choose to have a gun in their home, what are the top 3 tips that they should know?
Parents to have a gun in their home. I would say, put the PlayStation controller down.
Back away from the PlayStation.
A lot of parents play PlayStation. Firearms. It is solely up to your kids and your responsibility with your kid and how mature they are. I taught my son at a very young age. I have firearms.
Okay.
I had firearms before you were born. This is where they are. They are locked up. In the state of Florida, your firearm does need to be locked up. It does need to be secure. I let him know that it is very dangerous. What age do you teach your kids to not put your hand on the stove?
Mm-hmm.
Do you teach them at 13? Or do you teach them at when they're a little kid? You teach them when they're a little kid. What age do you teach your kids don't do drugs? Because drugs are bad. Well, same thing with firearms. Firearms can hurt you. When I was 5 years old, I learned how to shoot a firearm correctly, safely, and I enjoyed it. So that is completely up to you what age you think your kid is mature enough to learn firearms. I teach kids at our store 5 years old and up.
Wow. And
they are amazing shooters. I have your neighbors down the road here actually are 2 little girls. They come in and they hit the bullseye every single time. They can't wait to come back and do it. And it's amazing.
So what I'm hearing for some of the tips for parents is it's sort of
It's
you
law
need to
law.
know. So one, you have to lock up your firearms. Two, yes, telling your children, but really it's up to the parent when they think they should tell the child that's in the home, right? Because the thing is I have heard of accidents where children, what is this? Bam, and unfortunately life ends.
And they're curious.
Yeah, they're so curious.
If they go, hey, there's a gun in there, don't go in there.
Uh-huh.
They're going to be curious. That's going to pique their interest. That's why when we do 5-year-old trains and they fire it, they're not like, oh, so curious to go find it. They've already done it. They've figured it out. They know. But when they see it now and they don't know how to handle it, it could go off and hurt someone or themselves.
Where should parents, so for parents out there that are thinking about getting their concealed weapons license, where do, maybe they want to know, where do I keep it? Do I keep it in the back of my closet? Do I keep it in a lockbox? But then if someone comes in the house, I'm unlocking the lockbox, unlocking the gun box, getting to the gun. Where do they keep it?
Well, in the state of Florida, you don't need a concealed weapon permit to have a firearm in your home.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
you can just have a firearm in your home. If you're a legal citizen and you are not a felon, you can purchase a firearm. You could bring it back home to you, and you could have it by your bed. There are cool safes out there that are finger touch. You could do that. There's many different types of safes. So if someone comes to you, hear a bump in the night, touch your hand on it, boop, the door automatically unlocks. You pull your firearm out. It's
But if it is at your bedside, you still have to have it locked up, correct?
Have to have it. If you have kids under the age of 18, by law, you have to have it locked up.
Okay.
And it's smart too, right?
Obviously.
Because your kid may know that it's safe. Your kid may know all the safety about firearms, but when his friends come over, they may not know, safety firearms. And when your kid's friends go up there and find it and hurt themselves, well, then that's on you.
Yeah.
Just
well,
remember,
and the people that come into your home. I mean, you could
Yeah.
have we own a cleaning company. You could have cleaners come in your home. You have a
Absolutely.
construction worker come in your home.
And you don't want them stealing it. So if you have a construction company coming in here, which actually happened to my neighbor, they stole a bunch of jewelry from them. If you don't have your jewelry locked up, well, hey, that's a target. If you don't have your firearm locked up, well, hey, that's on you. Because remember, again, every round that leaves that barrel is on you. If your gun is stolen, you got to go report it now. If you're not going to report it, you just say, oh, it's gone, I'll go buy another one. If that gun is now in some kind of criminal case, your name's on that gun, and they're going to be knocking on your door first thing. So
Don't be a felon. Don't be a bully. Okay. And we talked about should a child be a maid. Okay, so I have heard when you have a gun in the home, it's important to have a safety plan. What is a safety plan, and do you have any examples of them?
safety plans are something like what we teach.
Okay.
A safety plan is, in your lovely home here, do you have a fire plan? Mm-hmm. If the fire happened in the kitchen, what are you going to do? What do? It's going on. You're hearing the alarms go off. You're in bed. Your kid's room's over here, or you go over here. What do you guys do? Do you all have a plan? It's good to have a plan.
We're going to by 5 o'clock this afternoon.
It's good to have a plan, right? Like our hurricane. We know it's coming. We got to go buy water. We got to buy batteries. We got to, what we teach our kids. Hey, go to Boy Scouts. What is their motto? Always be prepared. Why not be prepared for just about anything? So if something does happen, boom, you're already on it. So firearms. If I hear a bump in the night, so you'll have many classes and many training and many instructors will teach you how to clear rooms or how to do this and blah, blah, blah. My plan is a little bit different, to be honest with you. If I hear somebody stealing something from downstairs, hey, take whatever you want. You know what? If you want my TVs or whatever you need to take,
we can buy another one.
You can get another one. I'm going to stay upstairs and I'm going to be in a spot and I'm going to have the door locked. My girl's going to go in a secret safe room, and if she knows, someone doesn't do a secret knock, that she's going to shoot through that door because that's not me. And also, what does my kid do? But he's in college right now. But we had a whole plan for this, and I'm going to stay there. Now, if you're coming upstairs, now you're threatening my family's life. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take care of the issue. But I don't want to shoot anyone. Steal whatever you want in my house. I'll call the police. They'll be there in 10 to 15 minutes. But if they're not there and they're coming up, I have to actually take matters in my own hands. because then the police will just be filling out a death report for me and my family.
That's such a responsible way of thinking, and I think that's how we've got to get people to think. The goal when someone comes in your house is to not shoot them. That's what I'm hearing. I don't want to shoot them. I don't want to be shot at. But I love it. You're in one position in your home in this spot, and if they're coming up, now they are a threat. I mean,
because look what you have to do. If they came in and they really said, I'm going to kill you all, and they're yelling this out, I have to commit a felony to stop a felony.
yeah.
So then you have to go to court and prove that. Hey, I had to defend my life, and there's
all of it. People dying, like the whole thing. So I love that thought behind it, and I love that you.
And I don't want to kill anyone.
Right.
I mean, you know what? You're a bad guy. Maybe your life's hard or whatever. But if you're coming over and you're trying to attack my family, hey, game on. I'm going to take care of the issue.
Okay.
But the police can fill out the stolen report forever. I can replace the TV or insurance will or whatever it needs to be. But I don't want to take anyone's life, and you shouldn't have to unless your life is or your family's life is in danger. So.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so you offer courses for women specifically at FFA. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Well, I think it's really cool because, I have so many of my friends go, hey, we want to do a girls' night out kind of thing. We want to come there with all the girls. So,
oh, how fun.
And that's actually pretty cool, too. And then, so they'll come and we'll say, how many people here have ever shot? And they're like, none of us.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'll go ahead and we'll give you like a basic pistol training class. We'll set you all down. We'll have some fun with it. We'll show you how to load, hold, aim, and shoot a firearm. And then we'll actually go out and get you on the range and have some fun. But we have an all-women's tactical class taught by Miss Rose. She comes in once a month. She may be doing a little bit more now, but she's a great instructor, and she also is bilingual, so Spanish or English. So if you're looking to come out, what she does is she gets you into the range, not behind the line where you go actually into the range and you have to move and shoot, think and shoot, multiple targets, different types of drills. What do you do in scenarios, kind of thing. And these things are important. If you've never walked and shot a gun before, which most people don't.
Way different.
Yeah, it's way different. Your sights are me bouncing up and down with each step. And you're not going to, and remember, you're held accountable for each round at least. So when you see the movie, they go, pow, 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 and they're running and that's not real life stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll teach you how to do it correctly and safely, and you're going to be on target. And you're going to go, oh my God, it's amazing, because this is the sport that you can actually become, you could be the next gold medal Olympic shooter.
Those 5-year-old girls.
They could be. You never know. I have people that come out that are 60, 70 years old that have never done anything like this, and now they're doing competitions with us. We do competitions with them. They're like, it's so fun. It's a sport. It's an amazing sport. And the more you practice at it, the better you become. Every Thursday, we have a group of guys that come over and they do pistol golf. They created this whole target thing where you have to play a round of golf with shooting.
Oh,
so 22s is what you putt with, 357s is what you wedge with, 44 Magnum or something, 45 I think is what you drive with. And you have to get it in the holes and stuff. So they have a whole competition tournament every Thursday. These guys get together and they all go out to lunch afterwards. And if you're ever interested in that, you can sign up and go with them.
How fun. So it's not just about protection, these guns. It's a sport too. It can
It's
be
amazing
fun.
sport. We have like targets like battleships. So you have to sink the top ships and you sink the bottom ship. Whoever sinks them wins. So if you guys win, you could do that and compete against each other.
Oh, how fun.
And then whoever loses has to give the massage.
Yeah. And you're going to rig it so I win, right? Right?
Of course.
He'll stand behind me. He'll stand behind me and do the shooting. Oh, Jamie, you're so good.
You can make it as fun as you want, but it's something, one of the key elements of making it fun is finding the correct firearm for you.
Yeah.
And everyone will tell you, oh, that's the greatest gun, buy this gun. It's not. It's always, we all have different hand sizes. We all may not like the recoils, and that's what we do for our rentals and stuff like that. We do this whole program. We get you in the right firearm that you enjoy shooting, that is fun for you to shoot. People will say, oh, 22 caliber is this little caliber. You know what? I shoot 22s all the time. Why? Because they're so fun.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like shooting a glorified BB gun, and it's very inexpensive. So, and it's great practice for different higher calibers. So, I think it's a great gun to shoot.
I love it. I love it. So fun. Okay, so I know we are at time. real quick, if someone is not interested in purchasing a gun, maybe they're against guns, maybe they're just so scared of it, this isn't even an option for them, what are your top 2 tips for keeping their home and family safe?
I would tell them try mace, wasp spray, a bat, get cameras, get a lot of lights on your house, alarm systems, make sure you pick up your papers, and keep your doors locked.
Excellent. You know, one tip I learned years ago when I was really young on Oprah, my mom called me and she's like, Jamie, you need to know this. So for single girls living alone, they said take man's construction boots and put them out your front door.
Oh, great.
So I thought it was a great idea.
Beware of dog sign was one of the highest ones on the jail, that people that listed up there.
I love it. So beware of dog is
Beware
good.
of dog sign. They don't go in a house with a dog.
Yep. Oh, and my mom watched this thing recently of these men that would go and do home robberies. Not out to kill people, but doing home robberies. And they said, if you have a security system sign outside your home, he goes, we skip your home. He goes, even if we know you might not have it on, even if we wonder, he goes, we don't even stop to wonder, do they really have it or not? He goes, we just skip you and go to the person that doesn't have beware of dog. It has their front door unlocked and doesn't have
It's a deterrent.
Yeah, it's a deterrent. So, okay. So before we close, where can everyone find everything about you? Where can they go?
Well, you can go to our Facebook page, we're Florida Firearms Academy, or you can go to ffatampa.com, or you can call 813-221-FIRE. And we're right here on Hillsborough at 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue. We're in between Double Branch and Racetrack Road. We're right behind the Direct Tire store, so we're not far away.
Excellent. Thomas King, CEO of Florida Firearms Academy, thank you so much for being here. And the last sentence that you would leave, one sentence that you would leave the viewers today would be what?
Wow, if you're the person that's always blaming someone, it's never going to get fixed. So take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for your own protection and their own family.
I love it. And I'm going to leave you with one piece on top of his. Don't be a bully and don't be a felon.
Don't be a felon.
Happy Friday. We will see you next week. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching the Dr. Jamie Show episode this week. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Do me a favor and subscribe to me on iTunes and YouTube. And of course, please give me some feedback on the show. Looking forward to reading it.